Well, hi there and welcome. That theme song can mean really only one thing, and that is, well, actually two things. It can mean it's lunchtime on the East Coast, and it's the start of Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you on EWTN Radio. So welcome the Lunch Bunch and everybody else, wherever you happen to be. It's still kind of late breakfast time on the West Coast, and if you're around the world somewhere, welcome to one and all. I am Jerry Usher with Debbie Georgiani, and as I said, and you, because you're the one who drives the program with your participation. Hey, Debbie.
Hey, Jerry.
Hey.
I'm so excited because it's the beginning of sweater weather in Arizona.
Oh, boy. Congratulations.
So we can drag out our sweaters once a year. I love it. I love it. Yeah, thank you. We made it another monsoon summer season, but that's not what we're talking about today. I just thought I'd share that. We're actually talking about, we're going to ask the question, what do you do to stay healthy? You know, we titled it Let's Get Healthy, and that includes mind, body, and spirit. So mind, body, and spirit. As you know, Jerry and I have the wonderful outreach ministry of Stand Tall. You can find us at standtalltoday.com. We are adding some new coaches and also a bilingual coach because we've got a lot of inquiries of our wonderful listeners that want a bilingual coach. And so we aim to please. You can find us at standtalltoday.com. And we talk about mind, body, and spirit balance and staying healthy, getting healthy, because, you know, the healthier you are, you can give generously, freely to others, right? You can't give what you don't have. So you got to fill your own figurative cup first. And then what flows, what overflows can go to others in a beautiful Christ-like way. So let's get healthy today. What do you do to stay healthy? That's the question we're asking on Take Two. And Jerry and I, we definitely expect an answer from you because you are the ones who teach us everything. That's how we live. You know, would you say this is accurate, Jerry? We look forward to the show so much. We live for our Take Two listeners because they are the catechists. With their lived experiences, their wisdom, we learn something each and every time we do this show.
Well, there are a lot of ways to learn about faith and loving God and loving one another and so forth. But we do believe, as Debbie said, you know, life itself, lived experiences are what really make this show what it is every day. And that means you. Debbie and I often share a little tidbit about the day's topic or the day's question, and then we throw it to you. So where are you today? Take Two family, talking about what you do to get healthy, stay healthy. 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. And again, it's just really a holistic look at your health. Mind, you know, what do you do to feed your mind, your intellect, your body, of course. Do you run? Do you work out? Do you swim? Do you do triathlons? Do you do marathons? And also spiritually, you know, what do you do to stay healthy? So we're asking you, do you have any kind of a package here that you put together that works for you? And remember, what you share on this program will help other people.
Absolutely. So please dial in 833-288-3986. You do not have to be Catholic to call in. If you're listening, if you heard Jerry's voice or my voice, then we consider you part of the family, and we wait for you. We long for you. We want you to enter into the family and share your experience, your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding of what we are asking. So we're talking about getting healthy today, mind, body, and spirit. And, you know, sometimes you don't even think about that. You're just trying to survive, right? You're just trying to get through the day. We understand that. And Jerry and I are going to impart some really interesting life skills that can maybe assist you today. So this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So please call in. What you have to share will help other souls, because we see the emails and we hear the feedback. And it's very important that in 8.5 years, you guys have helped each other tremendously. And Jerry, we must mention that today is the feast day of Saint Faustina. Divine Mercy Messages. Jesus, we trust in you.
Yeah, and you know, I've read quite a bit of the diary, but not all the way through it. And our Deacon Joe Bellissimo, you would love him. He's Italian, Debbie. And he's in the other room teaching an adult faith formation class right now here at the Basilica of St. Paul in Daytona Beach. He made the point today, he preached at Mass today, and I did not know this. He said that St. Faustina ends, the diary ends with I think they call it an ellipsis, ... You know, like sort of like to be continued.
To be continued.
And he made the point that's where we jump in. We have to live divine mercy. He thought it was very providential that the diary ends that way. I had not seen that. I did not know that, but it is a beautiful, beautiful feast day today.
Yeah, very, very powerful. So phone lines are lighting up. That's a good sign. That means you care about getting healthy, staying healthy. You have some tips and tools and tricks to share with all of our listeners. Or maybe you're not that healthy and you're just, kind of bummed out and you want to talk about it. Let's start today. It's step by step. Jerry and I, we love the movie What About Bob? With Bill Murray. And in that movie, if you've ever seen it, they talk about baby steps, baby steps. It's so true, though. It really does work. So join in. Please share what you have to say about this topic about getting healthy mind, body, and spirit at 833-288-3986.
Yeah, and maybe you don't want to focus on all three of those. If you want to just choose one, that is fine as well. How do you stay physically fit? Your body. The body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. So what is your routine, your regimen for staying physically fit? If you just want to share that, or just want to talk about how you feed your mind and keep your mind in good shape, or your spirit. Do you have prayer time every day, daily prayer time, devotion, Eucharistic adoration? Maybe you read the diary of St. Faustina as part of your spiritual reading. Love to have you contribute on the show today. Matt Grabensky is already screening calls, so we will get to those in just a moment. But there is a line open for you. A couple lines, in fact, are open right now. 833-288-EWTN. 833-288-3986.
And you can also weigh in on social media, YouTube and Facebook. Jerry and I are waving to you guys. We love you guys. Keep going with the chats. And our wonderful producer, Ace McKay, is at the controls. He always does a fine job. And he also posts snippets of the show, or if there's any kind of resources or anything we want to impart to you, he takes care of it at our website, take2show.com, and also the Jerry and Debbie Facebook page. Please like us there and share it. Ace is going to be spreading the news about so many more episodes, and you're going to really want to share it, because I think you could really help us spread the word that we're going strong, trying to get good messages out to people so they can live their best life. Right, Jer?
833-288-3986, talking about getting fit and staying fit, mind, body, and spirit.
Hi, I'm Al Cresta. Join me for a daily conversation about the things that matter most on Cresta in the Afternoon. This afternoon, 4 Eastern on EWTN Radio.
This is Life Issues with Brad Mattis, president of Life Issues Institute.
Research shows over half of women who have abortions report using contraception in the month they became pregnant. This means abortion has been used as a method of family planning. Since the Supreme Court reversed Roe, scores of women throughout the country realize abortion may not be available as backup to family planning. As a result, Planned Parenthood and doctors' offices have experienced a significant uptick in requests for permanent sterilizations. Response to this development varies. Some think these women are likely to regret their decisions, while others believe these sterilizations prevent future abortions. One thing is certain: the demise of Roe has changed our nation fundamentally. What are your thoughts? Share them in our broadcast link at lifeissues.org.
Follow us on Facebook at Life Issues Institute and stay informed, more informed than you've ever been.
Stay up to date on the latest EWTN TV and radio shows, books, art, CDs, and DVDs when you sign up for Wings, our weekly e-newsletter. Get Wings today. Go to EWTN.com and click subscribe.
EWTN.
Thanks for being with us on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you and the show team, affiliates. Thank you for carrying the broadcast. We appreciate that so very, very much. Still a couple of phone lines open. We're talking about getting fit, staying fit, healthy, mind, body, and spirit, all three of those, maybe one of those areas you want to talk about. 833-288-3986. Join us and change somebody's life today, which you really have the ability and the opportunity to do. We'll go to the phones after I tell you about a great program that's been going on for a very long time, EWTN Media Missionaries. We have some people who are in our ministry team with Stan Tall who are also media missionaries. All you have to do is sign up. You prayerfully take EWTN to parishes and the community through the print and electronic media that we provide. That helps EWTN share the good news as a media missionary. Just visit EWTNmissionaries.com today and join us in sharing the eternal word with the world.
Okay, so we do have some open phone lines if you'd like to share how you get healthy, stay healthy, mind, body, and spirit. If you have if somebody, imparted something to you or there was some wisdom that was shared with you and it has really benefited you, please pay it forward, please. That's what we're all about here on Take Two. So please fill up those last couple phone lines. And if you're driving, you could maybe pull over safely to the side of the road and make your call. Matt Kabinski is waiting at 833-288-3986. And we're going to go to Marty. Marty's in Cleveland, Ohio on the Rock. Hey, Marty, thanks for calling.
Hello, Debbie. Hello, Jerry.
Hi, Marty.
How are you guys today? Jerry,
Great.
good luck and many blessings as you move forward through the priesthood journey.
Yeah, thank you. Please pray for me. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I will.
Thank you.
To address the topic of today of good health in spirit, body, and mind, for me, I have a morning prayer routine that I do, and our church needed some ministers in different areas, and I became a minister of the word and a lector a while ago. So that's how I get my spiritual fulfillment almost on a daily basis. For my mind, I work in healthcare, so I'm always learning new things there. And I also like to read a lot. Great for your vocabulary. For me, it's mostly nonfiction. And then for body, I have a daily calisthenic routine that I do. I like to ride my bicycle. I live in Ohio, so we don't get that all year long. Same thing with golf. But one thing with golf I did was I'll be 65 next week, so I stopped doing 18 holes on a cart, and now I play 9 holes and walk. So that helps me out a lot. And then as far as food goes, when the grocery store, when the prices went through the roof a couple of years ago or 3 years ago, whenever it was, I decided then that I didn't want any empty calories, so I pretty much just started buying protein, fruits, and vegetables, and occasionally something else, and the result has been really good. I've shed quite a bit of weight and have a tremendous amount of energy to go through my life, and for somebody who's going to be 65 on Monday, I feel pretty good about the status of my health, my spirit, my body, and my mind.
Wow. Well, happy early birthday, Marty.
Yes.
And I just have to say, you've really got it together in these areas. In fact, the thought that came to mind was this topic. I don't know if you saw it ahead of time or you just happened to tune in today, but the topic of discussion today did not catch you by surprise, it sounds like, because you're already living all of this.
Well, thank you for saying so, Jerry. I didn't know about the topic today until I heard it, but I am a daily listener. A lot of times I'll call and I'll be on the clock and I'll get paged or something like that, so have to step away and not be able to be part of the program. But today worked out really well, so I was able to be here with you and your listeners today, and I thank God for that.
Very
Well,
cool.
I just want to echo what Jerry said. Marty, happy early birthday. That is wonderful. You're October 9th. I love the 9th because I'm November 9th. So way to go. And what a beautiful milestone birthday, 65. God bless you. That is wonderful. You're listening on the great station, The Rock. You guys have your pledge drive next week that I'm hosting. So maybe I'll get to talk to you again if you're listening. But Marty, you're amazing. That is it's so balanced what you said. Feeding the mind, feeding the spirit, and taking care of your body. It just reminds me so much of like Jack LaLanne. Do you remember Jack LaLanne? And he always said, keep moving, whatever you do, we're meant to move. What do you think of that?
Well, that's a great point. I do remember Jack LaLanne. He was on TV when I was growing up. But, Debbie, I just want to address one thing that a lot of people really kind of overlook when they are looking to try to, for whatever reason, start into a fitness pattern. And a lot of people ignore a good old-fashioned walk around the block just to get started, or take a walk. And if you're not comfortable, if you have a big block or whatever the case may be, you walk 5 houses down and 5 houses back for a week. And then the next week you walk 6 houses down and 6 houses back. Right. And then next thing you know, you're walking around the block, and then 2 times and 3 times. And then your body starts to crave it on a daily basis. And that's what I've found as I become healthier. And, in working in healthcare, that's what a lot of doctors that I speak with tell me as well.
Yeah. Marty, I'm so glad you said that, because we talk about that all the time in life coaching with our clients. They'll say to me, well, how do I start? I said, how about this? Do you go to the grocery store? And they say, yeah. I said, okay. I said, where do you park? They said, oh, I look for the parking space right up front. I said, why don't you take the furthest, the way out into the parking lot? Take the last spot. They go, why would I do that? I said, because then you get to walk. And there's your walking. And they said, oh, that makes sense. Hey, that's pretty good. And then I'll leave the spot for somebody else. So something as simple as that, Marty, will start somebody in the routine of just, it's like Europe. In Europe, they walk everywhere. I'm right with you, Marty. I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Well, thank you, Debbie. And I wish you both a great day. I have to get back to work now. You guys take care, and many blessings to your team and all the listeners.
Thanks,
Thank you, Marty. Thank you.
What a great way to start this conversation.
Yeah.
Great call. It's funny you mentioned keep moving, because now I'm kind of reduced to swimming as my only physical exercise, because the running, because of my knees, that went out years ago, and weightlifting, I'm just not really, I'm a little too old for that too, so I swim. My philosophy is when I get in the pool, just keep moving, whether I'm doing, constant laps, or if I stop to rest, or I'll do freestyle backstroke, just got to keep moving. And mentioned Jack LaLanne there. He died at 96, so he really knew kind of a few things that he was doing, it sounds like.
Yeah, 96. That's a good life, I think. And, but take that farthest spot in the parking lot instead of taking the one up front. And then you get those extra steps in. Simple ways to start to get healthy. Jean is up next, Jerry. And Jean is in Carroll, Iowa. And let me just, on KYMJ. That's how Jean is listening. Hello, Jean. Welcome to Take Two.
Well, hello, both of you. I love both of you. I listen to the show every day, as most people do, I'm sure. I am calling. There's 2 things that are really important: to be happy and to have joy. Number 1, of course, is to give thanks to God every day for everything you've got. I mean, the hot coffee in the morning, the hot shower that you take, everything. Nothing is too small. Thank God for everything, and pray every day and say the rosary every day. I do all that, as most of the listeners do, I'm sure. But as far as joy, that's thanks, and the joy comes from inside your heart. You've got to have a young, joyful heart. And I say that. You can laugh if you want. I don't care. You're both too young to even know who these people are. I'm talking about Looney Tunes, the cartoons, Bugs Bunny, Porky Pig. I love all that. I have never outgrown that. I'm 78, and I love it today as I did when I was a kid, 10 years old. I love it. They make me smile when I think about them. If something's coming up, that's not a happy thing. I think about cartoons and things like that. Our nature, of course, the trees, the breeze, the fall weather, everything. Think about nature and God and Bugs Bunny and all those childish things. Never lose your childlike heart. That will keep your mind healthy and happy, and usually that wears off in the rest of your body. It takes place in the rest of your body. You won't have as many aches and pains and all that whining. Always have a thanks to God and a very young, joyful heart. Never lose your inner child. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to hang up now. I love both of you. And again, Jerry, congratulations on your endeavors, and I'm sure you'll do fine. And Debbie, we love listening to you, of course. The whole show is wonderful.
Thank you, Jean.
All right, I'm going to hang up. God bless both of you, and continue doing what you do. You're all great.
Thank
God
you,
bless
Jean.
Jean.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I just want to say my brother Michael, if he's listening in Texas, he's probably at work right now, raising his hands going, go Jean, because my brother says this to me every day. He goes, why can't people be more childlike at heart? Why can't they just be joy-filled? Why can't they just look at things and be grateful for everything and appreciative, and a smile on somebody's face, a beautiful day, as you know, and so Jean, I think, has captured that, Jerry, and I agree. You know, I mean, Jean, she disclosed that she's 78 years old, but I got to tell you, she's 78 years young. Her voice, her just the energy behind the words she's saying, I just think it just radiates from her this beautiful quality, a Christ-like quality that I think we could all benefit from.
Yeah, and I think the recipe that she described for having that peace and that joy and remaining young at heart, I think we've lost that to a great extent. I mean, she's talking about, giving thanks to God every day, especially even in the tiniest little thing, give thanks to God. She talked about nature and getting out into God's creation and all of that. Today, so many of us are, programmed to be, watching TV, playing video games, being, in our phones and our tablets and all kinds of stuff. We don't have time. We don't make time to do the things that Jean was talking about. And we really should. So I think that was a great reminder for all of us.
Absolutely. Like that attitude of gratitude, right? I love that. And Gigi just weighed in from New Jersey. She's our ministry team leader on Inspired by Faith Fellowship Club. And Gigi's right. She said there's been studies done saying that exercise is cumulative. You can build up. You can do little bits all day long. They were saying that people that clean house, you're going from room to room, you stop a little bit, then you do some more, or yard work, or people that service hotel rooms, they're getting their exercise in. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be something that's so intense, like for an hour at a time. It can be throughout the day, so it does build and it does help. And I think it goes along with the Jack LaLanne model that he just always said, keep moving. Just start during the day. Don't just sit around all day. Do something with your arms, your legs, and just keep moving.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, Jean, I can't speak for Debbie. I do remember the Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny,
Me too.
Porky Pig, Roadrunner, and all of those. So great little blast from the past there.
I know.
Yeah, I'm laughing as you're talking. I love it. It's so funny when you're in the gym parking lot and you see people. They'll drive around for 15 minutes and stop and wait for somebody to back out of a spot that's right near the door.
Yeah.
Like you said, instead of walking that extra 30 feet.
Right. Okay, Sue is up next in Stone Ridge, New York, and listening on Sirius XM 130. Hello, Sue. Welcome to Take Two.
Well, hi. It's very nice. It's the first time that I'm calling you, and I have to. I'll try to make it very, very short. But I'm 80, and I retired from my business 2 years ago. And what did I do? I sit around reading, doing a puzzle. I get up one morning, and my hands are numb, my feet are numb. Alarm. So I was going to adoration twice a week, so that was okay, balancing and walking the dog and looking up at the sky and saying, sun bless the Lord and tree bless the Lord, and praying as I'm walking the dog, but it wasn't enough. But luckily, where I live, 20 minutes away, is a place called All Sport. It has a pool that's 95 degrees, and it has a hot tub. It has cold therapy, and it has a lot of exercise machines. Okay, so I went swimming the first time. I could barely do one lap. Oh, my word. But that was 6 weeks ago. Now I do a lot more, and I got a personal trainer in there. I never knew that those 100 machines in there all work on a different muscle. So luckily, I got this personal trainer that's in her 50s. I didn't get some buff that would go, oh, my word, I just couldn't handle it. But so now I've been doing it. So mentally, I go to adoration twice a week. So that's 2 hours. And then I go to All Sport at least twice a week. That's another 2 hours. And I feel much more centered and more joyful. And I'm so glad I have my little dog because, time to say the rosary or time to just to bless the Lord and look at the flowers as I walk down the road. And my attitude is so much better. Yeah, I still do puzzles, but I don't sit there for 3 or 4 hours. I'll spend a half an hour, then I'll get up and do something else. So, yeah, we need balance in our life, and we just got to keep moving. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, you've got a great recipe for that as well, Sue. God bless you. And we were just mentioning Jack LaLanne, who died at 96. You mentioned you just turned 80 and retired a couple years ago. So at 80, you've got hopefully maybe another couple decades to look forward to. And if you keep using that personal trainer and keep the swimming going and all of that, and walking the dog, and like you said, still doing the things you used to do, you've got a really well-rounded life, it sounds like. Debbie, what do you think?
I agree, Sue. You sound amazing. Thank you for being a first-time caller. Everybody's weighing in saying they love you, Sue, and they loved Jean as well. You guys just hit 2 home runs there. But Sue, real quickly, I just wanted to say you brought up something that just sparked my memory. When I go to adoration in the chapel, I find that if I'm there an hour and a half, or 2 hours, however long I'm in the chapel, and I'm sitting or kneeling, my legs, my arms, they fall asleep because I'm just so still that I found that now what I do is I stand in the back of the chapel. I stand, and I love it. And I can stay a lot longer. So, Sue, you just, I thank you so very much for reminding me of that so I could share that with the listeners. God bless you, Sue. Thanks for calling. Call us again.
833-288-3986. It's your show, Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you. We're talking about how do you get fit and stay fit, physically fit in your mind, body, spirit. Give us a call. Let us know how you do it.
Always plenty to talk about and plenty to hear at Podcast Central at EWTN.com. And I'm Ace McCain, your host for this week's Catholics Coast to Coast, where we get a chance to celebrate. We've got close relationships in our lives, and it's also a way for us to expand our faith. Also, we're going to continue to dive into the life of St. Therese. So I hope you'll join me for this week's Catholics Coast to Coast, Sunday night, 6 o'clock Eastern on EWTN Radio.
This is Jerry Usher. If you missed part of today's show, catch the encore tonight at midnight Eastern or anytime at EWTN Podcast Central. Visit us at EWTN.com/radio/podcasts.
Jesus told a parable about workers in a field. Some started at sunrise, some started at the end of the day. And when they lined up for their pay before heading home, everyone got paid the same amount. Of course, the guys who showed up at sunrise complained. Why do we get the same pay as the guys who showed up at the end? And the boss said in reply, if I'm going to be generous, why are you complaining about that? We love justice. We love our pay. We love to demand our pound of flesh if someone's wronged us. We love getting what's coming to us. And you know what? That's fine. There's something about natural law that makes us want what seems the most fair. But there's something better than fair. It's mercy. It's giving to people who don't deserve. It's lending to people who could never pay us back. It's forgiving even when someone couldn't possibly earn it. That's how God is toward us. It's how He calls us to be toward each other. This is Chris Stefanik from RealLifeCatholic.com on EWTN Radio.
Hi, this is Janet Williams. We embrace the essence of feminine spirituality on Women of Grace tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern here on EWTN Radio. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
We hope you join us by dialing 833-288-3986 and answer the question, how do you get healthy? We're talking about mind, body, and spirit. Like Jerry said, a holistic approach here, mind, body, and spirit. But before we get back to the phones, Jerry, we want to do a shout out to our friends at Divine Mercy Radio in North Carolina. They need to hear from you next week. They're airing their 2023 Fall Pledge Drive all next week. So if you're listening to AM 540 in the greater Raleigh area or anywhere, please support your EWTN Catholic radio station.
You can join us not only by phone at 833-288-3986. If you're part of the people watching on YouTube or Facebook, hi to you guys. And
hi, guys.
You can also join with your comments on the chat section there. You can post at take2show.com, and you can email us. Try to keep it brief if you can at take2@EWTN.com. Let's go back to your phone calls. We have a first-time caller. Lauren is in Houston, Texas, listening on the Guadalupe Radio Network. Hi, Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
Hi, Debbie and Jerry. Thank you for all you do.
Oh, thank you.
Blessings. Well, I wanted to share that's something my husband and I started doing years ago. I think I've been praying about him being more inspired to exercise. He's busy. He doesn't have a lot of time to take care of himself. But we started walking in the evenings, and it's almost 4 miles briskly, and we would talk for half of it and pray the rosary on the second half. Now we've moved that into the middle so that we're more focused instead of trying to cram it in before we finish our walk. And it's been a beautiful thing for us for I don't know how many years now. Also, so we get a walk in. It's beautiful and it's a prayerful one. Also, he has a hobby. Hobbies, I think, can help with the stress of life. And he likes to do woodworking. So he actually makes finger rosaries, which we bring and give to all different people, priests, bishops. Wow. And so there's blessings for him and his spirit in doing that. And for me, in knowing that he's getting what he needs and having that time, that quiet time just to experience his hobby. So that's it. It's a simple thing that's been great for us, and I think great for any couple, giving us time to communicate when you get home from work and you might just want to sit and flop, or you're eating and you're still pulled in different directions, caring for kids or parents or whatever. So it's become religious for us we got to go walk now, So it's a good thing. It's a blessing.
It is. Yeah, it really is, Lauren. Thank you so much for calling in, being a first-time caller on the program today. You mentioned mind, body, spirit, and I would add heart to that. You and your husband are sharing your hearts with one another in a very beautiful way. And like you said, life in today's world, it could pull you in separate directions, like you said, even when you're eating a meal or something. So I'm reminded of a saying that some friends of mine have always said for many, many years: your sacrament is showing. That's how they describe that, Lauren. When a husband and a wife really are united in that matrimonial bond and really sharing one another's heart, that a special time together. That's a very you mentioned it's really simple, but it's also very deep and profound, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think it's so beautiful, the two of you together, walking and praying. I think it just is, to me, it just is something right out of the Bible. It just feels right. It just looks right. I think it just probably you're experiencing just the spiritual benefits of that and the blessings, the graces. You're tapping into the graces. I could feel the Holy Spirit just as soon as I said that, Lauren. You probably are tapping in just mega doses of graces when you're doing that. Would you say yes?
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's transformative. It really is.
Yep.
So,
It's biblical. It's very biblical. I mean, Jesus, we always hear about Jesus going from town to town, place to place. It's always about going somewhere. And it's so true about this movement and the movement between husband and wife as you are praying together and walking in this beautiful creation that God created for you to be as husband and wife in the world. I think is just extraordinary. Way to go, Lauren. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you. It's awesome.
Yeah, please call again sometime. Love to have you on the show today very, very much. 833-288-3986. It's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. It's your show. We're talking today about how you get fit and stay fit, mind, body, and spirit. You can talk about maybe any one of those if you want, or how you kind of have that good balance between all of them. 833-288-3986.
And Jerry, real quickly, we have one of our social media Take Two family members. They have us up on the big screen, apparently, and they want us to right now double wave to them. So we're on the big screen. Hi, guys. Thank you. Whatever big screen, wherever we're at. I hope it's not in some electronics store or something. Or maybe that would be a good thing.
Maybe it's in a sports bar or something.
That would be hilarious. Oh, a little too early here, though. It's still 9 in the morning here, 9:30 here. Right. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna move to Mike, and Mike is in Denton, Texas, on Guadalupe Radio Network. Hey, Mike. Welcome.
Hello. How are you guys today?
We're great. We're having a lot of fun.
Awesome. It's great. Sounds like a great show. I just wanted to take a minute and talk about, I started a Catholic martial arts group a few years ago in a quest to improve my mind, body, and spirit and those of the men that I work with. And we get together on the weekends and we learn about martial arts. We're having to reconstruct historical martial arts. And then we use the strategies and tactics of that and study spiritual warfare and take a look at those lessons and how they can be applied. And in that way, we can stretch our minds, our bodies, and our spirits all at the same time in a fairly short span of time.
Wow. Has this been well received? Do you have a lot of interest in this, Mike?
We have a decent amount of interest in it. We have about 50 men around the country, about 15 in our local chapter, and it's been great. I've learned a lot, and I've gotten better. And I'm 52, and I'm sparring 18-year-olds at full speed.
Wow.
Good
wow,
for
that
you.
is amazing. Yeah, good for you. Where is Denton, Texas? What's the nearest big city?
It is north of Dallas and Fort Worth, kind of in the middle and then north.
Okay. This is so cool. So when you say Catholic martial arts, did you come up with this, or did you go to like the diocese and say, hey, is this something we want in this area? Like, how did you do that? I'm just curious because actually you give me a really good thought here for Arizona.
Yeah. So I actually just kind of started on my own as a lay apostolate.
Okay.
And basically, we don't necessarily advertise ourselves as Catholics since we haven't gotten permission from the diocese.
Mm-hmm.
But what we do is, we study straight, magisterial documents and writings of the saints, and we keep it very, very orthodox in everything that we do.
Beautiful.
That is very cool.
And then from a martial arts perspective, we selected a martial arts of the Catholic Knight. So it's the Renaissance style, full contact sword fighting, as well as staves and knives and hand to hand, kind of the way that they would have done it in the 1500s.
Yeah.
Do you have a particular patron saint, Mike? I'm just curious to know if there's a particular saint who you have kind of consecrated this to, or might have lived a life similar to what you guys are achieving here.
Yes, so it's Saint Ignatius of Loyola, who was.
Yeah, of course.
This was his martial art before he was injured and converted.
Right? Yeah. Wow.
And so when you learn the martial art and then you go back and read the writings of Saint Ignatius, you start to see where he took the things that he had learned and then applied them to the faith, and it's very interesting.
This is brilliant. My son almost made it to. He was almost a black belt, and my other son went pretty far up as well, high up as well. I come from an extended family of black belt in different martial arts, and so this is fascinating to me, Mike. If you have a chance, I know you're probably super busy sparring with all those teenagers there, Mike, but if you get a chance, is there any way you would drop an email to us at take2@EWTN.com about information about your particular studio?
Yeah, no problem. I will happily do that probably this evening, but yes, definitely.
Okay, thank you so much. This is amazing. I find this to be very providential, actually, this call.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Look forward to getting that email from you. Talking about mind, body, spirit. So important that we're the temple of the Holy Spirit, not just the body, but the mind and our hearts, and just trying to keep them all in good shape, physically fit, mentally fit, spiritually fit. What's your key for those things? 833-288-3986.
I was almost going to start in martial arts when my kids did, but the sparring thing kind of got me nervous. It just got me. I don't know why, it just did, but the health side of it, and also the strength training and all that, and trying to and self-defense. A lot of women are going for a lot of self-defense classes. That has become huge. I don't know if it's at your gym, Jerry, if you belong to a gym, but at our gym, it's huge. So this is interesting.
Yeah, well, I kind of jokingly said to the vocation director here in the Diocese of Orlando after I was accepted as a seminarian, and he was figuring out a parish to place me in for this coming year. I said I have two demands. One is I want to be near a swimming pool, and number two, I want there to be a good Chinese buffet nearby. And I have memberships in 2 outdoor pools already, and I already ate once at a very, very high quality Chinese
Jerry,
buffet. So
you're hilarious.
God takes care of even the small details, Debbie. That's all I can say.
Oh my goodness. You see, folks, what I have to put up with? No, I mean, Jerry's very low maintenance. He's very easy to work with. And I enjoy it very, very much. Very grateful. Okay. Jerry, would you like to do the honors to share about Raymond Arroyo? I think you should do the honors.
Well, his show is the world over on EWTN radio and television. Pope Francis's Synod of Bishops focuses on the meaning and purpose of synodality itself. It was launched in October 2021. It was designed to draw local Catholics and national bishops' conferences, religious orders, and curial officials into an extended period of consultation and discernment that will culminate with an October 2023 assembly in Rome. Raymond is going to talk about that on The World Over tonight, 8 Eastern Time on EWTN radio and television.
Okay, so we will move to Robert in Wisconsin, and Robert's listening on the EWTN app. Hey, Robert, thanks for calling.
Hi, Jerry and Debbie. How are you?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you for taking my call. Hey, I just wanted to mention something that's very important for health, and that is and well-being, and that is breathing correctly. I think it's overlooked a lot. I've been studying breathing for quite a while now, and there's some interesting facts I'd like to just share with you. One fact is that mouth breathing is very bad, and studies have shown that it's actually the number one cause of cavities in the teeth, not sugars or anything like that, but it's actually mouth breathing. So people should try to breathe through their nose. Another fact is that the lungs are actually the weight loss regulators of the body, and that when you exercise or breathe correctly during exercise, that the carbon dioxide is what is actually expelled, and that is what leads to weight loss. It's not sweating or anything like that. And another fact that I've learned is that that saying the rosary out loud will allow you to regulate your breath. And what I mean by that is that there have been studies that show that the optimum number of breaths per minute is 5.5 to 6 breaths per minute. Most people these days breathe anywhere from 10 to 14 times a minute. So this, I think this is important, and the rosary can, being said out loud, can actually help train you to breathe slower and thus regulate your health that way.
Well, I just wanted to say, Robert, this is music to my ears because I'm a health and wellness coach. From many years ago, I got certified, and I actually took a class in this exact topic that you're discussing right now, and the benefits of proper breathing. And I just would add one more thing that you probably have studied and read about this idea that most people shallow breathe. They don't breathe deeply, which is you can't repair things. You can't clean out things. You can't, the body is meant to function and function well and to fire it on all cylinders, right? And so when you do the proper breathing, like breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, instead of mouth, like you were saying, mouth breathing, which can cause cavities, also too, the talking of praying the rosary out loud with the proper breath rhythm, it also helps the heart. It helps everything works together for the good. It's the body is extraordinary what God created. And Robert, I am right with you. you. I am so big on that because I read one time. Tell me if you read the same thing, that because people shallow breathe, they're actually it's causing them to get sick. And what did you read anything about that?
Oh yeah, I think an important thing to think about is the fact that breathing is basically done by the diaphragm, which is a muscle, and that muscle can be trained just like you can train your biceps or your triceps or anything else. So we need to think about our internal organs as much as we do about our external, form.
Yeah, and oxygen can heal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, Robert, I didn't take a course on this, but I once was told by a friend who said, breathe like a baby, like a little baby would. A lot of us like to, just fill up our lungs, but it's like they said, you fill up your lungs, but you let your belly do the right, So I don't know if I'm not sure how to say this, Debbie. You know what I'm talking about?
The diaphragm up, deep breathing.
Breathe like a little baby would. Yeah.
Well, too, and also they also talk about singing too. That's a good point, Jerry, because you breathe differently with singing, and that can help other areas heal. Have you read that, Robert?
Yes, I have, and actually there was a famous singing coach that was on Broadway that went, and he ended up his career as helping people cure people of emphysema.
Wow.
Which is interesting. Wow. But I just wanted to bring up one other fact that I've always been fascinated by Native Americans, and I always wondered, why do these Native Americans seem to have such good teeth? These guys are 90, 95 years old, and they got great teeth. And as it turns out, I forget the guy's name, but he traveled extensively through the western United States around the same time that Lewis and Clark did, and he studied, what they did for health. And apparently, the Native Americans, almost every tribe, was very much into teaching their children not to breathe through their mouths. They would actually.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway.
And you're okay. Well, Robert, you're getting a lot of comments from our Take Two family. They all agree with you. So people are reading the same types of information and reports about breathing. So thank you for sharing. You probably helped so many people today. You helped me. That's why we do these shows, because life is moving so quickly and things are coming at us very fast. And we need to remind each other, just let's get back to the basics, get back to how God created, the body, and to understand it better and to work with the body, not against it. Robert, I think you hit a home run.
Yeah, absolutely. And just want to say thanks, Gigi. She said it way more succinctly than I did. I made a mess of that, but she said it's called belly breathing.
That's it, belly breathing.
I was trying to describe that with a lot more words than that. So thank you, Gigi, for making that simple for me.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Okay, so John is another first-time caller. Look at you guys go. John is in North Dakota on Real Presence Radio. Hey, John. Welcome.
Hi. I don't know if you're familiar with Don Williams. He's a country western singer. He had a beautiful song, but I changed some of the lyrics and kind of use it as a prayer. So I'll say it to you, because the last time I tried to sing it, there were 50 dogs in my yard howling. So here it goes.
We don't want the show to go to the dogs today, so be careful, John.
It starts like this. I do this every morning. Lord, I pray this day is good. I'm feeling empty and misunderstood. I should be thankful, Lord. I know I should. So, Lord, I pray this day is good. Lord, have you forgotten me? I've been praying to you faithfully. I'm not saying I'm a righteous man, but Lord, I pray this day is good. I don't need fortune, and I don't need fame. Send down your spirit, Lord. Send down your name. And when you're planning how this day should be, plan a good day for me.
That's beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you said these are the lyrics. You change. These are the lyrics that you changed the words to. Is that correct, John?
Some of them are original. Some of them I changed, to make it kind of like a prayer. To make it like a prayer.
Yeah, I love songs like that.
Me too.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
Wow, beautiful. Thank
and you do that
John.
you do that every day, huh, John?
Yeah.
Every morning I ask.
Okay.
For start my day out right.
Good. Great way to start the day.
Thank
John,
you, sir.
thank you. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. Wow, beautiful. George in Wisconsin on WSFI. We only have a few minutes. Can you go quickly, George? Welcome.
Hi, George.
Well, thank you. Well, I'll try. I live alone. I'm 95 years old.
Wow.
I still drive. I eat 4 raw vegetables every day. I get up at 5:45, and I walk a half hour, and I have breakfast, and then I do that TV show for a half hour, Sit and Be Fit. And then I have a prayer time about 9 to 9:30, and I read the Word Among Us. And I say the Rosary at 2 p.m. On EWTN. You might be familiar with that program.
Mm-hmm.
And Divine Mercy also. And I take part in a lot of activities. And a big thing is smile. Even if it hurts. Have a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And that keeps you going.
Yeah.
Like, that old saying. What is that old saying? See, I'm 95. I don't.
George, I'm 62 and I can't think of it either.
I couldn't think of the old saying, but the one thing I will say, George, I just have to say this, and I think I can represent all of the Take Two family. We want to squeeze you. We're sending you hugs right now and squeezing you. Okay?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hope, God willing, you got many more years ahead of you, George, and you've laid out your personal recipe for that. Sounds like he's a busy guy. 95, there's no moss growing under his feet.
Right, and he has a routine. My dad used to always say this: keep going, but have a routine, because it makes your mind want to get up and do that, right? So you just you keep moving forward. My dad was big on that. He'd always say, get a routine. Get a good habit, right?
Yeah.
So tomorrow, Jerry, that was a great, great show. You guys did such a great job. Tomorrow is our monthly The Real Presence show. On the first Friday of every month, we dedicate it to the Most Holy Eucharist. So many of you do First Friday devotions. I know that we do, and it's very important to us. But The Real Presence is a time when we can come together as the Take Two family, and we really, really go deeply about the Holy Eucharist. Please join us tomorrow. Don't forget that. Jerry?
Well, we love talking about the Eucharist anytime, especially, as Debbie said, on First Fridays. So that will be our topic tomorrow. Again, Take Two family, you made this a fantastic, really a fun conversation today, but also very informative. I mentioned George, our last caller, had a good recipe or routine for staying fit, physically, mentally, spiritually. So many of you called in with your own recipe for doing that today. So I'm sure, Debbie, that a lot of people listening are going to have some things to take away from today's broadcast and maybe make some little adjustments in life that will be better for them.
We hope so. So start today, definitely. And you can visit us also, don't forget, at standtalltoday.com. And again, tomorrow is our Real Presence show, so we expect you to join us. Please tell a friend that we're talking about the Eucharist tomorrow. Today is the feast day of St. Faustina, so always remember, Jesus, we trust in you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, affiliates, for carrying the broadcast, and of course our great show team. Matt is on the phones. Our producer is Ace McKay, Jeff Burson on social media. Thank you, Take Two family, for another great hour on the radio. We'll do it again tomorrow. Until then, we want to wish you a beautiful and blessed day, and as always, we ask St. Joseph, please pray for us.
As we honor the